should be good here. And then we'll add in here. Hello, hello, Talon. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, okay, today you are first. Congrats. Congrats. Not an expert. Hello there. Welcome in. How are you doing? It doesn't say that you're new here, so I'm assuming that you've changed your name? Secondist? Twist? I hope you're doing well. I don't know what your previous name was, so I'm not sure how to address you. But hello, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. Alright. Let me make sure this is all set. Good to go. Alrighty. Been here before, like, once? Okay. Alright, that's totally fair. Talon says I've just been playing VR chat a lot, making friends. That's good. That sounds nice. I hope you guys are having a nice Friday today. I hope it is a good start to the week. My thumbnail's wrong. Oh my gosh, my thumbnail's wrong. Ah! I can't change the thumbnail. Give me a sec, actually. I think I should change the thumbnail and I'm gonna restart the stream real quick, cause you could change the thumbnail on any other platform except IRIAM, and this one actually is, like, event-based, so give me a sec, I need to change the thumbnail. I will be right back. I am so sorry. We'll go back. I am so sorry about that. I apologize. On IRIAM, that makes, like, a huge difference, so I'm sorry. Because it's like, it's the only thing you see, right? So that was gonna cause a lot of confusion, and I just did not want to deal with that confusion today, so I apologize for that. I hope you guys understand. Thank you for understanding. Because IRIAM is, like, you have, like, all the streamers there, and there's, like, just the thumbnail, right? Like, just the thumbnail is how people know what to tune in with. So if it's an event that I'm not doing, I would just get people immediately in here being, like, confused and unhappy. So I had to change that really quickly, because that was just gonna cause a lot of issues that I just didn't want to deal with, so, let me see if I can, I don't know if it's gonna update here, but, thumbnail updated. Sorry about that. Hopefully that worked. Again, I apologize for the confusion, but how are you guys doing? I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're having a good Friday. I know Talon was saying that they were hanging out in VR chat for a bit. The Senate meeting resumes. It's not a Senate meeting. But hello, Sierra. Welcome in, welcome in. I had to change the thumbnail because it was for the event-based thumbnail before, and if I'm not doing the event-based thing, then it would just confuse a lot of people. And on Twitch or on YouTube, it's not an issue. Like, you could just, well, on Twitch there are no thumbnails, and on YouTube you could just change the thumbnail during the stream, but on IRIAM you can't. So I had to close out to quickly switch it to literally anything else. So, I apologize for the confusion, but I hope you guys are having a good day so far. I hope that you guys are enjoying your Friday anyways. Does anyone have any plans for the weekend or anything? Anything they're going to be doing? That's why you're the queen of scuff here on IRIAM. Listen! I was doing my best to try to fix things as quickly as I could, right? Look, we're still under the 10-minute mark. I was still able to do this relatively speedy, relatively swiftly. The Senate has spoken. Look, I might be the scuff queen of IRIAM, but at least I try to fix my mistakes, right? At least I try to make things better, try to like, bring things up. Had a really excellent start, met an outside cat that was exactly as small as mine, very small. Oh, that's cute. Are they like a kitten, or were they just a really small cat? How would you know? I mean, like, okay, I guess if the build is like of a basic cat. No, just small. Alright, that's fair. That's fair. I'm imagining, like, you know, the anatomy. I'm picturing the anatomy of your standard cat, but then like guinea pig sized. Mine are 8 years old, so yeah, not getting bigger. Oh, okay. That sounds really cute. Unless you had like, what were those like teacup animal? They have like teacup dog, right? You have like a guinea pig or a cat the size of a guinea pig or something. That'll be funny. Newbie Reaper, hello, welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. How is everything? Happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing well, doing lovely. I'm gonna throw up Clip Studio Paint real quick just in case I want to take notes on stuff. I forgot to do that earlier because I was trying to figure out what I was doing. I'm always getting confused with things. Let's see here. There we go. Just in case. Want to jot down any notes or anything. There we go. Just came to say hi. See ya. Okay. Have a good rest of your day. Alright. Let me see here. But, yeah, it might be a little bit quieter today, but that's alright, I just sort of wanted to, like, check up, for the week, see how everyone was doing, see if anyone had any plans that they were working on. I have, like, my head is spinning lately. I am trying to think of so many different directions and things, and like, details and things that I want to sort of sort out in content and whatnot. I don't know if anyone else has been feeling that way. I know I have some friends that are feeling that way, that everyone is sort of like spinning their wheels when it comes to content lately. I think it's kind of that time of year where, you know, you have like big ambitions at the start of the year, and now the rest of the year is starting to kick in a little bit, and you're not quite pursuing the same direction you had at the start of the year, but you still want to keep going, and you're still trying to figure out, like, okay, how do I pivot? How do I change things? How do I, what do I do to make things work, right? Newbie says, got a long day ahead. It's frightening the amount of stuff I need to work on. Startling even. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hey! Okay, just because you're startled with the... Am I startled or are you startled? Because now I'm not sure who's startled. Was that part of your... Was that part of your to-do list? Was that on your... Was that something that you had to... I'm sorry that the amount of stuff that you have to work on is frightening, but being startled... Are you trying to startle us both? Bomb Star was part of my day. Oh my goodness, Newbie. Wacky bunnies. Wacky bunnies. Oh, goodness. Zero says, my weekend is to stream tomorrow and work on editing long-form videos. Speaking of which, now that I mentioned, question to you, do you think what I said is self-promo? Let's see. My weekend is to stream tomorrow, work on editing long-form video. If you're just saying it, like, really quick, casually, in a stream chat, and I specifically asked you guys what you're doing this weekend, no, I would not consider that self-promo. I would say that that is on the same level as the viral Twitter discussion, right? I asked you guys what you're doing this weekend, and you said that you're gonna stream tomorrow and work on editing long form video. So you're answering my question, and you're not like going in and saying, "Oh yeah, this is my name, this is my YouTube, this is the time I stream at, and you know I'm gonna be blah 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 blah." Like yeah, you said tomorrow, but you didn't give like a huge amount of extra information, and you didn't try to direct the content. Like you didn't try to direct the stream to yourself. You answered me asking what you guys were doing this weekend, so I personally don't consider it self-promo. Alaska, hello, welcome in. I see that you are new to my stream, so hello, my name is Starlight, I'm a prismatic kitsune. I hope you're doing well today. Some streamers think it is, which makes it not necessarily a big deal. What do you think about that? I think it entirely depends on how you go about doing it. I think that there are ways to make it quick and casual, specifically because you are answering what the streamer asked of you, and then there's times where nobody asked about it, and you throw it out there, and you give too much information, and then you start focusing things on yourself. Then I think it's self-promo. But if you're answering a streamer, then I think that it's not considered self-promo because you're directly interacting with something that the streamer asked about, and you're not giving enough information. So, going back to the, you know, if anyone is curious right now, if anyone is wondering what is she talking about with this viral tweet, there was a viral tweet where somebody was saying, oh, you know, how was your day? And somebody said, oh, it was good, I'm just really tired because I streamed for like 7 hours and now I'm exhausted. And the person, banned them and said that that was considered self-promo. I don't think it's considered self-promo when you're asked, how did your day go? And all you said is, oh, I had a stream. But if you do something and you're like, hey guys, I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard on the dog and cat channel, and I'm gonna be playing Minecraft, then yeah, that's self-promo. So it's about how you do it. It's about if you're giving the names of something, the times of something, the dates of something, and if you're trying to direct people away from the streamer or the content creator. That is my personal take on it. Hello, Sparkly Snake. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. I think it's really just a matter of intent, you know? And some people do it, without malicious intent, but they are still putting an intent on giving more information than they should. They might not be trying to be mean about it, they might not be trying to be malicious about it, but it can still come off as a little bit too much, and then you sort of have to, you know, throw the reins and reel things back a little bit. Alaska, thank you so much for following, I appreciate it, thank you. Bit more context, streamer banned the first time chatter for arguing with the mod, not for giving context about what they did, but the way the streamer handled was kind of out of bounds. I saw the argument with the mod. I don't think that it was much of an argument. I really think that they were just banned for self-promo, and then they used the mod thing as sort of a excuse. That is my personal take, obviously. I'm not this person. I'm not either party involved. This is just a third-party overview opinion, so I might, I might have, like, details wrong or context wrong or whatever, but from what I saw, the argument with a mod was basically, hey, why were my messages deleted? And then the mod said, you did self-promo, and then they said, no, it wasn't self-promo, I don't think that that should be deleted. So yeah, you're arguing with the mod, quote-unquote, but the self-promo is what created the catalyst for everything. Gonna be in and out, but probably gonna be missing a lot. No worries, Newbie Reaper, do what you have to do, especially if you have a really busy day today. So yeah, I mean, personally, I don't wanna spend too long, on the topic, because it's a little bit raw for me right now, too. But TLDR, you kind of know yourself when you're doing self-promo. And I think that that streamer overreacted a bit because they were like literally just answering the streamer's question. But if you're going out of your way to give too much information, I think that you kind of know what you're doing. Even if you're not doing it maliciously, even if you're not trying to take attention away, you sort of know what you're doing. Yeah, that's like, I don't know, Zero, that's like how Twitter is. people post things for attention like that all the time. And they get, like, they try to be on the right side of things, and they try to get clout from it. So, I don't really want to focus my stream on petty Twitter drama, to be honest. I am fine talking about content creation on stream, and I am fine talking about, like, events on stream from time to time. But I don't want to focus it heavily on petty Twitter drama, because I think that it was a little bit dumb how it happened. I think that the person who argued about it kind of realized that they didn't have as many people on their side as they wanted, and it is what it is. You know, we learn from it, we see how it applies to our own communities, and that's really the most important thing. It's just, like, seeing what we can learn from it from our own communities. In terms of, like, what the person thought or what they did or what they posted, I don't really care. All I really care about is, like, how do I learn from this for my own community, for my own experience. In terms of, like, their little petty arguments, that's not important to me. I'm sorry, I'm being, like, very... I'm being very blatant today. I had a lawn week. I had a little bit of a lawn week. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care what the people are arguing about. If I can learn from it, then great. But if it's just arguments, then meh. Meh. Sometimes being blatant is a good thing. As long as you don't get in trouble, right? As long as you're not saying something really stupid. But yeah, you know, just being a little bit more open, a little bit more, like, yeah, I don't really think that was meh, I say, meh. I mean, not really on the topic of being blatant, but I guess more on the topic of, like, being honest. I'm trying to figure out, like, where I want to take more content-related stuff lately. And I think that what I want to try doing is being more open, for anyone with, like, star badges, or Twitch memberships, or, what is it? Ko-fi, Twitch, or star badges, right? I think I want to start posting things that are, like, a little bit more open about my content thoughts and directions and stuff, and, I'm kind of thinking that I want to, like, show off more sketches and ideations for things and asking people's input on stuff. I was thinking about that lately. Or, like, silly sketches that I do that don't really get posted anywhere. I feel like a membership channel is a good place to put those. So I might start posting silly sketches that you can't see anywhere else. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? It's just something I've been sort of thinking about in general, because, like, I'm trying to, I'm thinking about, like, that kind of stuff. I'm thinking about where I want to take content. I was talking to somebody about this recently, that I'm sort of, like, not really sure where I'm going with content lately. I know where I'm going with commissions. I'm very happy with the commission direction. I'm very, very grateful, right now, that I feel like I'm getting to a place where I can comfortably hold a wait list. I usually try to not take any more than, like, 1 or 2 people at a time, and now I'm trying a new system where I have more people on a wait list, and so far it's been interesting. I'm sure it's gonna come with ups and downs, but it's been a good experiment. So, like, in terms of that, I think I'm, like, feeling pretty decent. I still want to improve my skills, and that's why we're doing the nightly study stuff. But I'm trying to figure out, like, content and brand stuff overall. Kind of like a creative diary or behind-the-scenes thing. Exactly. I think it sounds cool, but also helps center yourself putting it all into words. That is true, yeah. Or at the very least, like, not constantly bothering, like, you know, specific people that just keep hearing stuff all the time, or, like, throwing it into words, hearing what you guys have to say with it. I kind of want to make them, like, I feel like I don't have enough perks right now for justifying having memberships, and I feel like this would be a really good way to do it. It's kind of like, essentially giving you guys a little bit more Oz behind the curtain, right? The members are called Celestials, so you guys kind of have, like, a little bit more access to things. A little bit more, access to forbidden rooms in the arcane, right? I don't know how you will do it, but good luck. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do it either. But you guys can have, I think I want to open up more high-end spells to you guys, so to say, right? A little bit more Oz behind the curtain wizardry, a little bit more higher-end spells, a little bit more forbidden tomes and secret doors and things like that. There's a lot of spell work that I'm currently trying to develop, and maybe I might need a paw or two. Maybe I might need a Stargazer paw or two for it. It's interesting, though, because I was thinking about, I'm curious about what you guys think with this kind of thing overall, right? Because some of you know that I have had this idea for this video series that I wanted to do, where it was, like, this, exploratory storytelling idea, and I had these concepts that I would get to do, like, little watercolor sketches and paintings and things like that. And the current one that I was developing, I kind of let it go because I just didn't feel that the direction for it was right. It was leaning very, very young. And it's like, that's fine. Like, I think it was still cute. I think it was still fun. But it was a little bit, like, too cute, I guess, is the best way to say. And I'm someone who actually really, really likes more thoughtful, provoking, intense, dramatic stuff. And I think I just wasn't really able to express that kind of thing. And when I was thinking about the video content, I was like, if this is what I focus the video content on, then I'm kind of throwing away that other direction that I'm more into. So the TLDR is that I was thinking about this because, I like a lot of media that leans younger, right? I like Pokemon, I like My Little Pony, I like things like that, and it gets people sort of think, and I like cute things, so it gets people thinking like, oh, you would be great at doing, like, you know, children's book stuff. I actually don't like children's book stuff. I don't like, I don't want to be somebody who makes, like, younger stories. And I know a lot of people who do. I have a lot of art friends who really, really, really love working with younger stories. Really, really love it. Absolutely adore it. I like things that are really intense. You know, when I was a young kid, I liked things that were more intense. And now I like things that are intense but colorful, which kind of explains a lot of my anime choices. It's not that I like things that are meant for a younger audience, it's that I like color. So, I'm trying to figure out, like, where I can go with this same concept, this same idea with, like, this story and art, but in a way that kind of serves more of the direction I want to take things. And I don't really know where that is, to be honest. Hello, hello, Astro. Welcome in, and hello, Dark. Zero says, recently saw a video by Daniel Batal about video editing, saying keep editing simple. I made a comment and got a response from him. Okay. Is that, like, what you're telling me that I should figure out in regards to my storytelling concept? Or are you just throwing that out there? But, yeah. Oh, okay. Just throwing it out. Got it. Alright. Alright. Sure. I'm telling you guys, I had a very tiring week I've had a very long week. Newbie says younger, safe for work kind of stories can still be intense. Adventure Time and Pokemon, for example, have very intense and dark themes. Absolutely, absolutely. See, this is the thing, right? Because I was talking to someone about this, and I was saying, like, because that's what I mean, right? I like things like Adventure Time, I like Pokemon, I like MLP, and they're like, oh, so therefore you would like younger stories. Astro, thank you for the Easter egg. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, they're like, yeah, therefore you would like younger stories. And I was like, I don't like younger stories, I just like things that are vibrant and colorful and fantastical, but I actually like more intense stories. And I said, I know that sounds weird when I talk about if I use MLP as an example, right? And I said, but the reason that there were so many bronies, right? The reason there's so many fans of My Little Pony is because it's pretty intense. It is like, it was made for like a younger audience, but it doesn't treat its audience like younger children, right? MLP is the perfect example for this kind of thing. The reason there's so many bronies is because it doesn't disrespect its audience. It's extremely, extremely respectful of its audience. If the audience were children, if the audience were adults, it doesn't matter. It's really, really respectful to its audience. Pokemon is really respectful to its audience. It doesn't treat the media for children as if it should only be for children, right? They're just good stories. Exactly, Dark. Exactly. Like, oh my gosh, some of the backstories for MLP are kind of insane. Like, it's painted in a way that it's like very lighthearted and happy, and everything is like, oh no, there's a scary character. Oh no, it's a little bit spooky. And then you like break down what the character is doing, and you're just like, oh, that's extremely terrible and depressing. When I think about it, that's actually a really, really good villain. It's kind of like Pokemon, right? It's like, oh, you know, happy world of Pokemon, everything is great, everything's like, you know, a little bit hard, a little bit scary, but, you know, we're gonna win, blah, blah, blah. And then you read the Pokedex for Drifloon. And then everything changes. And then you read the Pokedex for Mimikyu. Or Phantump. And then everything changes. And suddenly, it's not just kids' media. I think the easiest way to do it is to think of your opposite. Darkstar comes up again. Pokemon MLP antagonists always present the cast with a counter-argument. That's an interesting point. That's actually a really interesting point. They present the cast with a counter-argument. I mean, that does explain, like, Nightmare Moon is literally the counter of Celestia, right? Think of Paul in Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl, opposite of everything Ash stands for. Yeah, right? Like, only straw and Pokemon matter. He ended up being one of the most in-depth antagonists in the series. That is a really, really good point, honestly. That is a very good point. It's just, yeah, all those kind of things is like, you're right, it's always a foil. It's always a foil. Like, Batman in the animated series was made for a younger audience. A lot of the episodes and character arcs were very relatable to adults. Exactly. So I think that people sometimes get confused when it's like, I really like younger media, but but it's not because it's for a younger audience. It's always younger media that is, like, really, like, applicable to anybody and doesn't disrespect the age of its audience. You got the evil team in Pokemon. They look like bullies, but really it's the Mafia, or just insane cultists. That's a good point. Funny you mentioned that, actually, too. Bessa, hello, welcome in. Dark says it's like Puss in Boots in the new movie. Yeah, true, right? Like, Puss literally facing death. Literally facing death. And I don't mean metaphorically, or romantically, or conceptually, or however. No, I am straight up death. That was beautifully done, because it didn't disrespect the audience, right? That's the main thing, is that creating media for a younger audience that treats them as an audience that can understand older themes is a really, really powerful thing. Made a whole stream about my suggestion. Honestly, it's a good stream topic, because I wanted to ask people, like, what they thought of media direction. Like, I literally titled this, like, talking about different audiences, right? Because I think that it's a really powerful concept overall, and it's sort of, and I was being a little bit open about, like, my previous YouTube idea and where it failed and where I, like, am kind of trying to pivot, right? I think overall I'm just being a little bit more open. Celestials are gonna get more openness with that, but in terms of content, I'm being more open on stream as well. Darkstar has been made relevant somehow, not necessarily her, just the idea to have a counterpoint to the protagonist. Challenge values, that's how you respect the audience. You allow them to think. That is a good point. You keep bringing up Darkstar so much. But yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. Like I was saying, like, Nightmare Moon and Celestia, right? The moon and the sun, how do you get a more perfect foil than that? The moon and the sun are basically the yin and yang of storytelling. Basically the yin and yang of conceptual storytelling. You can't really get more intense than that. I mean, I guess fire and water, but, you know, we saw how Pixar played with that. You know, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, right? Is that, the reason everyone is saying, like, Pixar stories just aren't what they used to be, right? And I think it's because, and I heard this, being talked about, with some of the artists from Looney Tunes. So not Pixar, but same idea, right? The people who created, the characters in Looney Tunes, all the crazy things that they were doing, they were like, oh, you know, this is really lame for an adult show, or this is really, kind of intense for a kid's show. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this isn't, like, appropriate for kids, or whatever. They didn't write it for kids, and they didn't write it for adults. They wrote it for themselves. The animators on Looney Tunes, the writers on Looney Tunes, they wrote what they wanted to see. They weren't caring about the audience of adults or the audience of kids. They were doing it for the audience of them. So I think that's kind of very interesting, because I think that that's kind of what happened with Pixar, right? Pixar had some really, 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 really amazing ideas and concepts in the beginning, right? Toy Story, Monsters, Inc. And I think a lot of the writers on those older movies were not writing it in the sense of, like, I want to make kids movies, or I want to make adult movies. I think it was like, I just want to tell a good story. I just really want to tell a good story. And I think nowadays, a lot of the newer Pixar films, you know, with much more of Disney's heavy hand on them, I think that they've focused a lot closer into, like, we need to make a story for kids. We need to figure out how to tie this in with the theme park. We need to make something that is mainly for children that adults can stomach. And I think that that's the wrong direction. I think that there is less of the making a good story for the sake of it being a good story, and more so meeting a quota of kids' movies. I think that's like a main difference right there, because, like, Monsters, Inc. and Toy Story, right? Some of the greatest animated films of all time, and it's like, it's not meant for, it's safe for children to watch, but it is not directly meant for children. That makes sense, right? Like, that wasn't the intent. But that's kind of the issue on the West, right? If anything is, like, colorful, if anything has a fantasy element, if anything is animated, period, it's for children, quote unquote. And then you get a lot of people being like, oh, this type of media is for children, therefore I need to write stories for children. And it's like, that's not what you should do. You should just tell a good story. And I think that's, like, a really, really important aspect of things. So, when I was thinking about, like, kind of trying to shoehorn this concept into my videos, because I was trying to figure out how to make something simple that would be easy and cute and have a decent amount of illustrations, I wasn't really focused on writing a good story. I was focused on shoehorning a story into artwork that I could throw out. And I don't think that was the right approach. I mean, sure, like, the story was fine. It was, you know, it was very cute, or whatever. But it doesn't feel like it's satisfying the effort that would require finishing the video. Because, like, my concept was I would have to do a lot of different art pieces for this video, and it would sort of, like, go through the different art pieces telling the story. But I don't think that the story was strong enough to justify the work that I would have to put into the artwork. I think that makes sense. It was like, you know, little short stories and stuff, but nothing that really, you know, fine for YouTube kids, and not really enough for my own, my own, time and energy, I guess. And I think that's kind of what I was, like, slowly realizing, because I would be like, oh yeah, I have to finish that video, I have to finish that video, I have to finish that video. And then I just, like, couldn't get myself to finish that video. And I was trying to figure out why, and it's like, there's just a lot of art that I would have to make for it. and the art wasn't really something that I would be able to use in anything else. It's like the art would just be for the video. So then I tried being like, okay, I'll simplify the art style. And then it's like, I just couldn't get my head around it, really. So I'm sort of working on trying to figure out where to tweak that direction. And that's kind of where I wanted to talk about, the differences with audiences today. Audiences and storytelling and direction and things like that. Jesse's backstory, so sad, even adults can cry. Yeah, exactly, right? Because the Pokemon anime, like, it wasn't made just for kids. It was just made to, well, to be fair, it was made to sell games. But the games weren't just made for kids. They were just made to be good games. So the good games had to have a good anime to sell the games. That was the main idea, right? So, yeah, having, like, a deeper backstory, giving more depth to the characters to make you care about them, that's very important. Dark says there are fewer modern children shows like Adventure Time. Now we have the opposite of respecting. Exactly, yeah. Or there's, like, we kind of have the issue right now where it's, like, the people, they want, how I was saying, like, oh, the Looney Tunes guys are writing the stories for themselves? They're writing the stories because they wanted to tell a good story and they wanted to, like, create a funny thing that they knew would be well received, right? And I think now we have a lot of writers and showrunners, and they want to tell a story for themselves, but, like, for themselves. Like, for themselves as an individual, you know what I mean? Like, that's how we got, self-inserts and things where it's, like, really, really, really specific. Now it's, like, we have all these shows, but it's, like, very clear that the showrunner's dream was to basically make a show starring them with everything that they wanted in it, and not really considering, like, the general overarching audience, right? So I think that's another element to balance, is making a good story, but making it appealing to as many people as you can. Not worrying about your demographic of child or adult, and not making a story where it's like basically your diary turned into an animation. But making a good story that you personally still enjoy, but anyone can relate to, right? I think that's why Pokemon is as powerful as it is, because there are elements of Pokemon that I've explained this before, right? There are elements of Pokemon that can apply to literally anybody. Every type of person in the world can have a favorite Pokemon, can relate to some area of Pokemon, can find some direction that they love in Pokemon. It's just, like, as long as you're okay with the fact that it's a fantasy story about magical creatures, there is something in it for everybody. Every type of person can have a favorite Pokemon, and it's always different, someone out there has Vanillish as a favorite Pokemon. Someone else out there has a Alolan Slowpoke as a favorite Pokemon. There is something for everybody. Some people like the beauty contest aspect. Some people like, like Brock, right? Being a Pokemon breeder, being a Pokemon trainer, being a Pokemon master, being a historian. We've talked about this kind of thing, right? There is something in Pokemon for everybody. Whether it's tied to the game or not, whether it's just conceptual, there is... It appeals to anyone. My Little Pony is more on the, cute girl end, but the reason that there's bronies is because the cute girl end did not take away from all the other meaningful things in there that they could relate to. That they were like, hey, this show is targeted to, like, preschool girls demographically, but it's written to be open enough to anybody. Like Dark was saying with Adventure Time, right? It's like, you're making stories where it's like, you can personally like it as well, but making it appealing to, like, every audience. Monsters, Inc., right? Or Toy Story, I think, are perfect examples of that. It doesn't matter that you don't like cowboys or you don't like Spaceman or whatever. That's not the point. It's more about, like, there's a relatable character going through a relatable situation about being afraid of being replaced. And I think that every person in the world has had a feeling like that at some point. And then, new shiny, person, drops into town, and all your friends are more interested in what they're doing. And it's like, it's just universal. It's universal storytelling. And it doesn't matter if it's in the lens of a cowboy, and you have no interest in the Wild West, and you have no interest in cowboys. It's still a character that you can relate to and see yourself in. And I think that that's something very powerful. I'm not saying that I can, you know, that my future content can ever go in this kind of direction and telling, like, a Pixar-level story in a 10-minute YouTube video. I'm just saying that I sort of think that this might have been where my discrepancy came in, of, like, kind of ending up letting the project that I had go. And I'm trying to see, like, okay, I don't need to be writing, like, super deep storylines, but where can I just take my art? Where can I just take my art to make it more interesting? Where can I, you know, I feel like I need to work on my spell work. I feel like I need to work on casting stronger spells. And I'm trying to think, like, you know, what separates different artists, different creators. You guys know that I'm very inspired by a streamer named Taijiro. I really, really want to be able to figure out things like Taijiro does. I know the common thing is making something for you that you would enjoy, but a random question I think gets overlooked is, what are you trying to say when writing a story? That's a really good point too, right? Like, yeah, make something for yourself you would enjoy, but why are you writing the story in general? I think for Toy Story, it's just, I don't know why they wrote, well, I know that Toy Story was a test in how far to push the technology of 3D animation. But I am wondering, like, yeah, what possessed them to make this very, very deep and understandable story to everybody about, like, this whole, you know, cowboy and spaceman type of deal. For example, writing tactic is writing your theme or message, the why, on a note near you, and as you create, see how what you're writing relates to the original question, yeah. Pixar has books on this, right? Like, you know, 10 key works of storytelling, or, I know that, I want to say it was Andrew Stanton. Andrew Stanton, if I'm the right person, it might be Brad Bird, but I think it's Andrew Stanton. He would always, say things like, tell me your entire movie in one sentence. And it's like, can you explain the concept of the movie in a sentence, in a line, on the back of a DVD, right? And it's like, what you're saying, how can you simplify it enough? Writing the why on a note near you and making sure that you're constantly hitting those marks again. I think I picked it up from a Pixar book, actually. That would make sense, right? Good thing you mentioned that. People watch this and think, oh, I need to be a Pixar writer to be a good storyteller, and that's not the point. Yeah, exactly. Actually, really, 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 really great example of storytelling on YouTube, is this, Pokemon YouTuber named Deep Pocket Monster. And I discovered him fairly recently, and then Vessa discovered him, and then and I sort of, like, shared his videos, because I was like, this is YouTube storytelling, this is amazing YouTube storytelling. I think I mentioned on stream before that, like, oh, turns out that it was actually really, really calculated, and he's not just, like, naturally talented, he actually, like, figured out how to tell a good story and how to succeed on YouTube, because, spoiler alert, he has a second channel where he is a business channel with millions and millions and millions of subscribers on how to get rich and successful with a business. So then his hobby is Pokemon card stuff, and then his catch, or his target, is being really, really great at storytelling and narrative weaving, right? That's a common thing, too. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Exactly. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a Pixar-level story, especially if you're doing stuff like content creation for YouTube. The storytelling that Deep Pocket Monster has is, like, I have to do this challenge, and it'll be something like, I have to collect every single Gengar card ever released in English, by Halloween. It is currently October 1st. You know, stuff like that. And then he'll go through the motion. I guess he lives in a place where he can access a lot more card stuff than we can. He has, like, trade shows and things like that. So he goes to this, these card trade shows, and he's talking to his buddies, like, you know, do you have any of the cards in this list? And then it's this human interaction element. It's this trying to be like, oh no, yes, they do have it, or oh no, we're gonna have to go somewhere else, and then like, oh my gosh, how much time do we have left on the clock? And then like, that guy from that booth is calling another guy down the line from a different booth, and they're all trying to work together, and there's like team-ups and everything, and it gets you really, really invested, because it's a lot of back and forth interaction, coming back, revisiting the booth. Oh no, he actually found this in the back, and then it's like, okay, you got your main ones. Now what are you gonna do? You can't stay there. They don't have everything, so now you have to go and figure out, like, okay, if we contact these people, if we write these messages, can we get these connections? And oh, this guy happens to know that there's another event, and it just keeps going and going and going. And then at the end, it gets, like, you know, down to the wire, you know, trying to get the final cards in the final 5 minutes, and he's, like, in front of all these people, and they're hoping to see him finish the challenge. He's crafted it to perfection, right? He's crafted YouTube storytelling to perfection. There's a lot of elements that, sadly, we can't employ as VTubers, because, we can't go running around to a million different locations without, you know, finding a way to illustrate the different locations. You could interact with people, but it's really just gonna be, like, through Discord calls. You're not gonna get the same type of thing, but there's still elements to learn from in that, right? So I think stuff like that is also really interesting. C Plus says, I can imagine he hosts a rich dinner gathering, shows off his prized TCG cards. That'd be kind of funny. I could see it, honestly. I could see it. There was one point where, like, his son had one of the Gengar cards he needed, and he was like, well, what do you want to trade for it? And the son was like, your gold-plated shiny Charizard. And apparently there's, like, this ongoing joke between the two of them that they, like, end up trading this Charizard back and forth due to different challenges and videos and things. And then that creates, like, you know, a known meta that, that fans of the channel who've seen the other videos would pick up on. So, lots of little clever directions and things like that. You could still do some of them. It's hard to do a lot of it, but there are definitely elements that you can pick up from it, right? I think one of the, like I've seen videos with, some VTubers, or I guess, you know, one way to say that is, like, some of the most entertaining clips and moments from Hololive are when the girls are all together, right? When it's collab events. Because that interaction with others is always something that creates a lot of interest. So if you're doing something like a challenge, and then you bring someone else into the challenge, now you've got, like, a little bit more interesting stuff going on. I want to figure out how to also do things that are, like, solo-based content that are art-based, and art happens to be a very, solo endeavor, solo direction in many cases. But in terms of how you tell your story, I think there's still a lot that you can learn from that. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think with, like, the direction of audience and things like that. You mentioned videos. Since we're here, are you still planning to make a video about what you said to me before with the current commission? I would like to. At the very least, I'm gathering all the footage. So that is a big part of it, right? Is just being able to record everything as you're working. So I am at least getting the recording of the working. Which, to be fair, I have to get more used to that. Because I am, like, it's hard, like, it's so easy on Clip Studio to just be like, hit the time-lapse button. And now I'm trying to do one where I can actually, get the quality up, so I'm trying to do ones where, like, you can't just hit the time-lapse button and forget about it, you have to actually start and stop a recorder, which is really hard for me to always remember, and it makes me not want to, like, jump in to work on the piece, because I'm like, oh, I have to make sure that I'm constantly working at a pace that it'll look good in the recording. But Clip Studio's time-lapse feature is so bad that I need to just be able to do it. So it's forcing me to try. It's forcing me to work on and go back to doing time-lapse stuff. Because so many people do time-lapse stuff, and they are able to get good quality. So I don't want to rely on Clip Studio's time-lapse feature. I would like to just be able to do, like, good quality recorded time-lapse stuff. I'm glad to hear that, but will you? I think I've said from the beginning that I can't guarantee anything, right? I think that all of us, I think everybody here has had times where we've had ideas for projects and then it doesn't end up going through. So if it's not part of a commission, then I am not guaranteeing anything. I'm saying it's something that I would like to do, but I don't think any of us can guarantee any of our content. Even, like, no matter how passionate or intense we are about it, I don't think any of us can guarantee any of the content that we make. Unless it is because we are holding ourselves accountable because someone else is involved. If you are being paid for a very specific type of content, then yeah, you have to see that through. But if you're not being paid, if it's just, hey, here's a good idea, hey, here's something I would like to do, I don't think that it's fair to absolutely require it to happen. I think it's more of like I would like to do it if I can get around to it, if it'll work out. It would be something I would really enjoy doing, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. I think that that's a fair thing, right? Like, I'll put it in another example. Also, hello Vine Fox, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I think another example is like, and Celtic Alchemist, hello, welcome in. I hope you're both doing well. Hello. I think another example that is more applicable is I did a commission. I was commissioned to do a consultation, a speed paint, a paint over, a consultation, explaining how to do something, teaching something, right? And the person who bought the consultation wanted me to explain how to paint trees and grass and things that you would need in a forest. At the time, I was working on this YouTube video that basically was took place in a forest and had characters that were in a forest. And at first I thought, oh my gosh, I'll just combine the two. I'll just make this video about this character in the forest, and then I'll just give the video to this person and be like, hey, here's your consultation. Also, I did this video where I had to learn how to teach people how to paint things in a forest. I ended up delivering the video of how to paint a forest. He wanted an overpainting and he wanted critique on a specific piece he made. That video is up on YouTube. It's the last video I posted. That was delivered. That was a 3-hour live stream, and I fully delivered on it. I sent it off. It was a VGen commission. He loved it. And every once in a while, I give him my feedback whenever he says, like, hey, I just tried painting another forest thing. What do you think? And I give him my feedback on it. And that's fine. And I told him, oh, bonus, you don't have to pay for this, but I also have this idea to do this, like, storytelling piece where I'm teaching things. And he was like, oh, that sounds great, I can't wait. And then as I'm telling you guys right now, with the storytelling idea, with this tutorial idea, I didn't end up finishing it. I didn't end up delivering it. I did not end up creating this how to draw foresty type thing with these forest creatures with the storytelling method, and I really thought I would, and I had all these plans for it. Things ended up changing. Things ended up shifting. Things ended up, not coming to fruition, and I just don't have the energy or drive for it that I did, because I really thought that this was the direction I wanted to go, and it was more than I was able to chew off. But I did I did deliver on the commission. I did deliver the result with the first video, and the second video was a bonus. And I was really excited about it too. And then recently he was like, hey, I drew this new thing, what do you think? And I gave him all my advice and opinion and everything. And then I said, also, I just want to let you know, I don't think I'm going to end up finishing that second video that I mentioned. I thank you very much for commissioning me for the first one. Thank you for working with me. I'm glad that you learned a lot. I'm happy to give advice here where I can. But that second video I mentioned, I think I'm shifting gears, and I don't see myself finishing it, so, I apologize for that. However, I went out of my way to take that live stream and edit that from a 3-hour video into a 1-hour video, free of charge. So I hope that helps you, and please feel free to take advantage of that and view it to your heart's content. And he was perfectly fine with that. And he was like, oh yeah, no, I totally understand, no worries, it was an extra thing, it wasn't like an owed thing anyway, so no worries, but thank you so much for your feedback on my existing art that I'm still giving him. And that's just some stuff that happens, you know, that just, plans change, ideas change, concepts change, and even if we have an idea for something, it doesn't mean that we will always see it through, and I think that that is okay. I think it's okay to realize when you don't have the same drive for something, and even if you're like, oh, you know, I would really love to do this thing, it doesn't always happen. It doesn't always pan out. I could explain a number of things that I participated in where the person said, I'm really excited about this idea, let's do this, let's work together, let's all come together and all give our parts and all submit our parts for it, all submit our pieces. And it'll be great. And then, you know, you all do, and it doesn't pan out. And it's really, really annoying, but we weren't under any contract. We weren't under any obligations. Yeah, if you've already submitted the work, then yeah, you should absolutely see it through. Especially if other people are involved. That's something I've learned my entire life. It's okay if you're not meeting your own goals or your own needs on something. But if other people are involved, then you see it through. If other people are involved and if other people have worked with you and other people have submitted things, then you have to see it through. But when it's just your own stuff, when it's just an idea, when it's just, hey guys, this would be cool, a lot of things fall apart. The majority of things fall apart, actually. And, yeah, TLDR, I can't guarantee anything. I would like to do something, but then I might realize that I don't have enough time for it. And if it's not something that I'm, like, that I've promised, that I'm owed, that I've been paid for, if it's anything like that, then it might not end up happening. It could, or it could not. And I think that that's okay. And I think that that's, frankly, a very natural thing. So, yeah. Will I? My answer is, I don't know. There's my TED Talk. Celtic Alchemist, thank you for the head pats. Thank you for the head pats. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, it's been a long week. Shy Miku, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. And Celtic Alchemist, congrats on the star. Congrats, congrats. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, alright. There. I've got water. I'm good. But I hope that makes sense. I hope that kind of clears up my thoughts on it. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like... I'm so sorry. I'm kind of in a state right now where I'm just like, I'm going to explain why I do the things I do. I'm going to explain why I feel some of the things I feel. Because I usually try to, like, hide a lot of that stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to bother people or be, like, upset about stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Today I'm gonna explain why some things are the way they are. You need to get some air, you talk non-stop. I'm always talking non-stop on IRIAM. But yeah, it's like, you know, we're only human, or we're only demi-human, or we're only some other type of VTuber. We can't do everything. We can't do everything. I had a friend recently being like, you're wearing so many hats right now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely wearing a lot of hats right now. It's your stream, you can do whatever you want, and we stargazers can explode whatever we want. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Dark says that's something to medicine. A doctor should never promise you anything. They say things like, you are with the best sergeant or doctor. Yeah, that makes sense, right? You just can't guarantee anything in life, and I think that that's sort of like an important thing to always keep in mind, is like, nothing is ever guaranteed. You're allowed to be disappointed in things, but nothing's ever guaranteed. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, what did you say I should call you? I forget now, I'm so sorry. I remember you said that you had a nickname, and now I forget. It was short. It was it Dot? Was it... I'm so sorry. I can't remember everything. What was your nickname? I hope you're doing well, though. I hope everything's going well. And happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. What are you guys Friday plans? Let me switch topic. Let me switch topic to something else. What are you guys Friday plans today? Quick question to your necklace. Why does indigo exist? What is indigo? What do you mean? Why do you mean why does indigo exist? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What is indigo? Are you trying to give me a trick question? Are you trying to be like, there's red and blue, why do you have indigo? Because it's part of the rainbow? It's considered its own separate thing, even though you can mix colors? I don't, where are you going with this? Yuri, hello, welcome in, welcome in. When I think about the rainbow, I always skip indigo. I didn't know it existed before you mentioned it. You didn't know it existed? What do you mean? I'm a little confused what you mean by you skipped indigo because you didn't know it existed. It is a happy Friday. I don't work for one, so I'm not sure what to do. Oh no. I mean, the world is your oyster, Celtic. You can do anything you wanted. You could, I don't know. Yuri, thank you for the off guy sticker. Thank you. I didn't know indigo is a color. I always go blue to purple. Sea Hero, have you ever heard of something called Roy G. Biv? Take back, relax, have a nice long iced tea, enjoy the weather. At least I would. There you go, yeah. Alright, you don't know what Roy G. Biv is? Time for a color theory lesson. Roy G. Biv is the acronym that they give to explain the colors on a rainbow. So, Roy is red, orange, yellow. G, green. Biv is blue, indigo, and violet. You actually don't say purple, you'd say violet. And it's considered separate enough of a color to be its own thing. So Roy G. Biv is sort of something that they teach people to remember all the colors of the rainbow. And there's 7 colors of the rainbow. 7 is very interesting because a lot of people think that there's like divine ties to it, right? 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 notes in music, 7 days of the week. People believe that the number 7 is very divine. So that's kind of how they ended up they ended up coming up with that. That makes sense, right? A lot of the rainbow, a lot of direction in life, in sacred geometry and things. 7 is considered a very sacred number. So Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. Either I didn't pay much attention in school when they taught me that, or my special ed course didn't teach me that. I don't know. It's something that a lot of people learn in art classes, and I think they still, like, everyone gets, like, a basic art class, right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you're not an artist, if you're not an illustrator, that's, like, not something that you would retain. You'd be like, I don't need this, I don't care, whoosh! But if you're an artist, then that's something that it's kind of, like, always going to be ingrained into, like, a second language. I'm sure for musicians, it's the same way with the notes, right? But yeah, you can also remember it with the days of the week. That's why it's really, really easy for me to color code my schedule, right? Because I have a rainbow prismatic theme, it's very easy for me to just go through all the colors for the days of the week. Next question, what can represent indigo in the real world? Flowers. There's plenty of indigo flowers. Seashells. Let me see. Indigo, flower. I mean, a violet is violet, right? A violet is violet. There are flowers called Indigofera tinctoria. There are plants that are just straight up referred to as indigo. So there are plants that are just called indigo, or Indigofera, and there are violets that are violet. Just like the fruit orange is orange. So yeah, there's a lot of things like that can be represented in the real world. Indigo seashell? I'm sure there's an indigo seashell. Indigo seashells, I guess mollusks are pretty close to that. Or mussels? Mussels are close to that. Those are painted. Let's see. Are there any natural ones? What emotion or personality is associated with indigo? Generally, when it comes to things on the cooler side of the color wheel, the personalities tend to be more like calm, level-headed, or spiritual. So if you think about the chakras, I don't know if anybody knows what the chakras are, But there are some religions, there's some spiritual beliefs that you have these sort of like colorful energies that represent different parts of your being. And the lower ones are the lower chakras, like the red, orange, and yellow. Those are more like your sacral chakras, your base chakras. Those are the ones that are like more at your feet, your legs, the ones that are sort of like the grounding ones, the very earthy ones, the very material ones. And your heart chakra is green. It's right in the middle. It's like the center of your essence. And then when you get to the solar plexus, throat, and crown, then you go closer to blue, indigo, and violet. And the higher you get, the higher it is on the spiritual scale, so to speak. So your crown chakra or your third eye chakra is like the most spiritual, and that one is the violet one. So you kind of have like this internal rainbow representing all sides of you. The ones that are the warmer colors tend to be the ones that are more earthy, grounded material, and then the cooler colors are more calm, spiritual, and like that sort of closer to enlightenment type of thingy, right? Vine Fox, thank you so much for catching the 10K. Thank you, thank you. Chakra and Naruto is kind of within the same realm. It just doesn't use all the 7 colors. That's more... Chakra and Naruto is closer to, like, your chi. Like, your internal energy, your sort of... your force of nature that is kind of your internal balance. Chakra outside of Naruto is this 7-colored system of internal spiritual energies. I like the Star Cave? What do you mean the Star Cave? What is the difference between violet and purple? You're very, like, you're very fundamental art questioning today. This is funny. So I think purple is just sort of like, a layman's word, because violet is the true color, right? Like, violet is the color in the rainbow. Purple is kind of more so what we say when we're, like, combining red and blue together. You don't really say, like, red and blue make violet, you tend to say red and blue make purple. Start tapping the mine. Oh my gosh. Why did the mine thing stick? Why are you guys all mining? Start tapping mines. Oh goodness. Yeah, so it's like, people in basic terms tend to just say purple, but the actual color is violet. I won't be that specific. If someone's like, you have a purple dress, I won't be like, actually, it's violet. You just say purple. But violet is more so just the way that you separate the colors when you're talking about the rainbow, or the chakras, or anything that breaks up into 7. Sword of Death, hello, welcome in, welcome in. What a name! Hello! I see that you are new here. My name is Starlight. I'm a prismatic kitsune. It is nice to meet you. I'm intrigued by your name. Where did this come from? Reminding Star's inner thinking so we know how to blow her up later? What the heck, Sea Hero? What the heck? Also, Sword, thank you very much for following. Thank you, thank you. Where did you come up with such a name? I'm a little bit fearful of this. I know that there are swords of the heroes, but I do not know a sword of ending, like a scythe in a way. We do have people with interesting names, indeed, indeed. Don't let Eve get a hold of the sword or we're really in trouble. True, that would not be good. But yeah, hopefully that helps explain things. Hopefully that sort of like, explains different color theory. I'm surprised that being the colors I am, this is the first time I've been asked about color theory in this way. Yeah, no, Lillian getting the sword would also be not great. Every sword holds a purpose? That is true. That is true. But, like, that seems like a very powerful sword. Yeah, I was not expecting to get color theory questions, despite being color incarnate. Well, light, really, which is just the spectrum of all the colors. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that makes sense, right? Like, the reason that I say that I'm prismatic instead of rainbow is because, like, prismatic is literally splitting light, like, as a prism. So that kind of explains my theme, my name, my direction, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to go into that kind of thing. Maybe I should, like, figure out some spell work for this, because it's interesting. It's always an interesting topic to me, obviously. Also, I didn't expect to go into chakras. I haven't thought about chakras in forever. I'm not, I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm not, like, super religious. I don't really follow any directions. I don't really follow any direct directions. I don't really follow any specific practices. I'm just sort of overall spiritual, overall celestial, overall working on spell work and craft. So I haven't really tapped into chakra discussion in a very long time. Sword says, I play Wuthering Waves. I beat every story quest new. I'm completing the new one right now. Nice, nice. Zero says, you know, leaves change color in the fall. In science, it has something to do with light. I asked my science teacher one day, why wouldn't leaves dye in blue? The leaf thing is always something that throws me off, because I have heard so many explanations for the leaves changing color, and we're taught, like, weird different ones by different people. The leaf thing is so weird to me. I forget what the actual answer is. Like, you guys are gonna think I'm stupid for not knowing why leaves change color. But I literally, have heard, like, multiple different explanations by, so, like, quote-unquote, industry leaders or professionals or scientists. And I will hear anything from light to there's actually a film that dissolves to it mixes with a chemical reaction. I've heard everything under the sun. And because I've heard so many explanations for why leaves change color, I can't remember which is the real one. I can't remember why leaves change color because I've been given so many different explanations that have nothing to do with each other and are so separate from each other, and they're all written out as fact that I can't remember for the life of me what the actual answer is. If a leaf turns blue, it's due to a disorder or disease. I don't know about that. I've never seen a disease where a leaf turns blue. I've only seen one where it would turn yellow or get spots or get holes. I don't know about leaves turning blue. Yeah, I forget if it's like a chemical reaction, if it's a light reaction, if it's like it's always there and then it disappears reaction. I forget which one it is. But it's always very, very confusing because I hear so many different ones. I never know what to believe. I feel like every 5 years they come up with a new one. Blue is a very hard color for biological nature to create naturally. Very true. Ask me how I know. Yeah, blue is mainly seen with flowers, right? Flowers have the largest amount of variety and pigmentation that there is. Although, funny you guys should mention blue, though, specifically, because, oh my gosh, I won't try to go into too long of an AI rant, but oh my gosh. So you know how if you search up anything now, Google will just give you, like, the AI overview for it, and it'll give you all kinds of raw information? If you search up, how to grow blue marigolds, the AI won't be like, there's no such thing as blue marigolds. It'll be like, ah, yes, blue marigolds, you grow them, blah, 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 blah. And it's because they're grabbing the data from Animal Crossing. Because in Animal Crossing, you can crossbreed flowers to get different colors. And I guess in Animal Crossing, they have blue flowers. So if you type in blue marigolds, then it'll give you, like, the information from Animal Crossing. And it'll also just say, like, yes, blue marigolds are wonderful this time of year. Guys, you can't crossbreed out the gold in a marigold. You get yellow and orange. They can't even make a white marigold. You can't, like, it has its name because it's gold. You can't change the color of it. You can't get blue, especially. But now, because of the AI, there's all these pictures online of blue marigolds. It's called marigold because it's gold. You get orange and you get yellow. You can't go any further. You can't even make a white marigold. This is, like, I don't know if anyone else knows this with flowers, but, like, flowers have a very interesting history. Did you know that in the Netherlands, there were people that valued flowers in, like, millions of dollars. And, there was this one, like, catastrophe, this, like, destruction of the flower market, because everyone was so desperate to create a black tulip. It can't be done. There's no such thing as a black tulip. But for some reason, everyone decided that for a time in history, the most important thing that anyone could ever do in life would be to create a black tulip. And people were, like, giving their life savings to create a black tulip. You can't create a black tulip. You can get a very, 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 very dark maroon, but you can't make a black tulip. AI misinformation is actually a huge subject matter for people. Historians, medical, every field struggles with it. Yeah, 100%, right? 100%. CEO says, one true crime video I saw about this guy made fake art using a certain type of white paint that didn't exist during the time the art he was falsely painting zinc white or something. Oh my gosh, I could see that happening, right? Like, we didn't have that pure of a white back then. I could see that happening. That's crazy. I'll just cheat and get blue paint. Oh my gosh. That is wild. That is wild. But yeah, can you believe, like, people were literally, like, spending whatever the equivalent would be at the time, millions of dollars equivalent, to make a black tulip. Which is why it's always interesting to see, like, a black rose in, like, anime media. It always means, like, you know, some very dark, brooding character, and it's, like, a black rose, because you can't get a black rose. You can't get a black tulip. You can't get a black rose. You can't get a blue marigold. And I'm tired of seeing the AI images of a blue marigold. That's crazy. It's wild. But yeah, crossbreeding flowers and Animal Crossing is complicated. Did you know there's specific red flower other than just normal red flower? I could believe it, yeah. I've seen that there's, like, tons of different, there's crazy amounts of guides and tutorials and tricks and whatever to crossbreed flowers, which is how the AI picked up that a blue marigold exists, right? Because it's picking up from some game guide from Animal Crossing. So if you type in, you know what, I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. We can do it together, okay? We're just gonna go online, and we're going to type in how to grow blue marigolds. Start the seeds indoors 4 to 6 weeks before the frost-free date. Place in a sunny window and transplant seedlings into the garden when danger of frost has passed. It doesn't care. It's crazy. It's crazy. While blue marigolds are rare, you can grow marigolds with a variety of colors, including orange, yellow, and white. Not true! I was explaining earlier, you can't grow a white marigold. AI, you take this flower, dunk it in the paint of your choice. Done. There you go. What do you mean you're doing your best? You can't grow a white marigold. It can't be done. What was it? What's that famous garden company? What is that famous garden company? Not Burt's Bees. What is that? Gardener Company. I forgot what it's called. There's a famous garden company. They had a contest one time. They would give $1,000 if anyone could create a white marigold. No one could do it. You can't make a white marigold. And the AI straight up is saying, blue marigolds are rare, but you can still grow white ones. I just typed this just now. This is right now live. Oh my gosh, blue marigold truth revealed. Blue marigold, currently planting the seeds. The best way to plant blue marigolds. You go into images, there's so many pictures of blue marigolds. Panic, panic, dump all the seeds together. Something should happen. Oh gosh. I'm doing my best to fix the results. Thank you, Vesta, for your sacrifice. Why a marigold anyway? Because the flower has the gold in its name. That's why. Alright, Shaimuku, no worries. Newbie says I'm terrible at gardening, not because I'm deaf, but because I keep forgetting where I planted the seeds. Honestly, understandable. If your marigold is orange, it is most likely undercooked. Put it in the oven, 375 degrees for 30 minutes. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, marigold because it's got gold in the name, and the concept of a marigold is that it will only ever be gold. It will only ever be orange or yellow. It can't be white, and it can't be blue, and it can't be black. So that's why marigold, in specific. You were asking about, like, oh, where can I see, like, an indigo flower in real life? There's literally a flower called indigo. There's literally a flower called violet. But a marigold is gonna stay gold. There are so many pictures here. This is terrible. And the worst thing is that they're selling the seeds for these. They're selling the seeds as blue marigold seed, $10. And then people buy them, and because they're seeds, you can't know immediately. And, because you can't know it immediately, by the time the flower grows into a gold marigold, you can't return it and you can't write a negative review. And they count on that. And that's why a lot of these scammy companies are targeting flowers right now. Why aren't all roses rose-colored? It is smart. It's terrible, but it's smart. Just thinking of the fact core from Portal 2. Competitively spreading misinformation. Oh, gosh. I do need to play that at some point, don't I? Yeah, it's smart, but it's terrible. Yeah, they're targeting things where you can't write reviews ahead of time. It's just like, did you receive your package? Yes, I received my package. Okay, great, thank you. 5-star. Appreciate your business. Yeah, at some point I will. At some point I will. I think I should probably, like, ease myself into playing that. If it was just a puzzle game, I would be fine. But I can't stand turrets. I cannot handle turrets for the life of me. Turrets terrify me. I mean, it's pretty understandable to be terrified by turrets, but yeah. If it was just a puzzle game, I'd say, yeah, sure, like, let's go right now. But turrets. I'd like to make a complaint. My seeds are a different color. What do I do? Well, first of all, can you prove you didn't just paint them? Mon, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Are the colors good? Yes? Okay, thank you. Closed commission. Exactly. Mon, I'm so... Wait, what? Huh? I'm sorry to hear that, Mon. I can't tell if you're... I'm a little bit confused, but I hope that things get better. But I think it's a joke, but fish can technically drown. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't want to assume anything, you know? Like, I don't know anything about fish. Vess is the fish expert, not me. I don't want to say anything unkind, but I wasn't sure. So, like, I don't want to assume the worst, right? I don't know how to handle stuff like that on stream. If something bad actually did happen, then I'm very, very, very sorry. If you're making a joke, then I am not good at telling. But regardless, I'm sorry if something bad did happen, and I wish the best for you, regardless. Thank you for the heart, Mon. I can't see what the emojis are. What? I can't tell what the emoji is. They're so tiny on IRIAM. All I can read is my name. And then some emoji, but I can't read what they are. point and sad? I don't know. I would rather show that I would rather show that I'm sorry that something happened than assume that something is a joke, you know? So I think that I don't know if it's a joke, but if it's not a joke, then I am sorry. If it is a joke, then you got me. Vesta says, you know, you can suffocate at the top of a mountain. Similar principle with water. It can be lacking in adequate oxygen. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Why is there a gray color? It's the muddy mess of physical color together. I don't really know what you're asking. Sierra, this is the most inquisitive you've ever been about art ever. Who invented gray? Oh my gosh. Gray is just pure gray is just the absence of color with more light. Is it gray or gray? Depends on where you are in the world. I'm not gonna entertain that direction. Yeah, it's like... Most gray is just very, 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 very desaturated versions of other colors. How do they get desaturated from their natural form? I don't know. But black is the absence of light. And then a little bit of light is going to make a little bit of gray. You guys are going to hurt my head with this. You're probably doing that intentionally, too. Yeah, I mean, not everything is extremely saturated at all time, right? Everything's sort of a mix of things. And then brown is just, you know, physical paint that you threw together. If you were not in your current color for your model, what other color would you use instead? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like, if I was not... If my fur wasn't blue, is that what you're asking? If my fur wasn't blue, it would probably be pink. Is that what you're asking? May, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. If I was not rainbow? Who invented yellow? You guys, please. I don't know, ask the sun. Is it yellow or yeller? Depends on what part of the world you're in. Yeah, if I was not prismatic, if I did not have a entirely rainbow theme, I would probably have like some sort of like general blue theme, and then if I didn't have that, then I would probably have a pink theme. Yellow or yells at sky? Maybe that's how it got its name. You got people screaming at the sun. There you go. That's how we got the color yellow. That's how we got the name for the color yellow. You yelled at the sun, which was yellow. And then there you go, yelling at the sky, yelling at the sun. That's how you got it. Sierra, I'm not even gonna entertain that one. I refuse to even think about the existence of that thing. Older civilizations worship the sun, so maybe. There you go, yeah. Just yelling at the sun, yelling at the sky. Yellowing. Unironically, for many, many years, I thought Old Yeller meant Old Yellow, and not because he yelled. Side effect of already being Southern, I guess. Have you heard of zinc white? Yeah, of course. Of course. It's like, it's part of your toolkit. What are the ones that they always require us to have? Alizarin crimson, phthalo blue, zinc white, ochre. Ochre was always a weird one. Like, what is ochre? Ochre's like a golden. Zinc white sounds like a cheap gacha game title. Oh, ball of fire, make my crops go! There you go. Ochre. It's O-C-H-R-E. It's like a brownish gold. How do I describe ochre? Ochre. A yellowish orange or brownish yellow. Yeah. So you had to have alizarin crimson. I don't know what alizarin means. It sounds like it should be that sounds like the name of a gacha game. The Road of Alizarin. I don't know. I feel like that's something Elizabeth would do. There was a YouTuber that had all these super old color paints. I would start by saying how deadly toxic the paint was before using it. Yeah, old paints are no joke. Old paints are no joke. Alizarin. That really does sound like something from Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, doesn't it? Alizarin. It's derived from a plant. Interesting. So yes, there's alizarin, and then ochre, alizarin, cobalt blue, that one you guys know, cobalt blue, zinc white, and, oh, phthalo blue. There's phthalo blue. I never know how to pronounce that one. Phthalo blue. You know what saying this this name sounds like? It sounds like you have to be spat. You have to be spat from Hamtaro to say this name. Phthalo blue. It's Phthalo. Phthalo blue. You have to be spat to say this one. Hamtaro reference, let's go. There you go. You're not really suffering for your art if the materials can't kill you. True. True. Luckily, my spellbook does not currently want to kill me. Knock on wood. I'm wondering if you're colorblind, you want to be a VTuber, how would you do it? Just ask Iron Mouse's friend. He's colorblind and he's a VTuber. PH spit mark ALO. There you go. Only OG Stargazers, no Hamstar. Oh my gosh. Yeah, who's Neander's, boyfriend? Isn't he, he's colorblind, isn't he? What's his name? It starts with an A, right? Aethelstan. Aethelstan is colorblind, to the best of my knowledge. Is there such a thing as Barbie pink? Yes. It's, like, a very hot, aggressive pink. Or I guess that depends on, yeah. Yep, Barbie pink is a color. Is it actually, like... It's a Pantone color. Yep. Barbie pink is a Pantone color. Official. Ow! Ow! Oh gosh, I missed that game so much. It's not really something that you can replay on stream, but oh, I love it. I love that game. We did everything possible in that game too. Yeah, Barbie pink is a Pantone color, and what's the other one? Tiffany blue. Tiffany blue. Nobody else can use Tiffany blue. Gronk asked lots of color questions today. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. You guys have never asked me this many color questions ever, despite me being a literal rainbow. How does that happen? Why are you all of a sudden deciding all the color questions today? Where is this coming from? All the color questions. You even got me talking about chakras. What is a color? It's a piece of the light spectrum. It's a wave. It's a wave on the spectrum of light. There you go. Mr. E, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. If you could redraw Rainbow Dragon, how would you do it? Well, first of all, I would actually make him a rainbow. If I was to make a Rainbow Dragon, I would probably make the gemstones on it a lot larger, first of all. A lot larger. And then I would probably have different colors throughout it on, like, different accent pieces. And then I would probably make the entire body, like, a prismatic iridescent color. It would be, like, a pure white, but it would have a little bit of, like, a holographic tone to it. Which is very doable in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you have holographic cards. This is an awkward question after all this time, but what is a rainbow? Oh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the splitting of liquid rain. Or not liquid rain, but, particles. We weren't talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Necessarily. Asta, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Why can Russians see more colors than most other language speakers? Let's see if you paid attention. Let's see if you paid attention. My guess is that they have more words for different colors. Same reason why, Japanese had less ability for color, right? Saying that there's things like blue apples because why does more words help? Because you can differentiate and associate them better. Same as, like, you could probably differentiate different types of snow if you're Inuit and you have 30 words for snow. So more words would be able to help. Thank you for the heart, Vesta. Thank you, thank you. I'm not gonna go there. We don't do we don't do potty humor here. Oh wait, what? Oh wait, what? I am waiting. I am waiting patiently, with bated breath. Why? Why? Of all things, why? Why did that enter your head? Why did that enter your head? Why would I say- it's not even something I said! Why did that enter your head? Is it? Wait, is it? Why? I don't even know where you got it. I don't even know how you came up with that. I genuinely don't know where that came from. How did that even, like... Why did that become a thing? I'm very curious why that even became a thing. I'm curious how you got to this conclusion. Anyone else wonder how the world would look with just one color? Just put on some rose-tinted glasses. It was Homestar Runner saying today Day is Labor Day, but I star-dyed it and made it rhyme. Oh my gosh. I feel like my little joke there fell flat. Oh well. I tried. Daru-san, hello, welcome in, I hope you're doing well. I see that you're new to IRIAM, so hello, welcome to IRIAM. My name is Starlight, I'm a prismatic kitsune. It's the only day. Starboard Day is Arbor Day. Are you happy? I don't know what it means. It's so goofy. Goodness gracious. Say it more excitedly? You're demanding, aren't you? Starboard Day is Arbor Day. Are you happy now? Still don't get it, but there you go. Are you happy? Close enough, thank you. Telemore, hello, welcome in. Okay, that's it for Falcon Star. 1, 2, or 3. Uh... Uh... I tried going back to Pokemon TCG, and so far all the cards that I've wanted and not picked have been on the third one, so I'm gonna go with 3. Anyway. Am I sure? No, I'm not sure of anything. I think I went on a whole rant for like 20 minutes about how I'm not sure of anything. I don't like being put on the spot with these chores. No, I'm not sure about anything. What the heck, my fox? Rainbow indeed! Rainbow glow sticks, thank you. Rainbow glow stick spam, thank you. I appreciate it, thank you, thank you. Why the rainbow glow stick spam? Thank you, I appreciate that, Vine Fox. Color spray, there you go. There you go. The smartest people know they don't know. There you go. Thank you for the car sticker, Vessa. I keep wanting IRIAM to have like a regular rainbow, not the Chirasu one, but like a regular one. I think that would be really nice if they would do that. Not car, star car. Okay. Fair. Fair. I feel like I was trying to answer something beforehand, and I don't know what it was. How do you make a new color that has not been invented before? Are you talking about like Barbie pink or something like that? Or Tiffany blue? It's more so, it's less like you're creating a new color and more like a designation, right? It's more of a designation of the spectrum. So, it's kind of like, you know how there are people that buy a certificate where they named a star? They didn't create a new star, they named a star. So, it's kind of like that. You're not creating a new color, you're naming the color, and then, taking ownership of the color. Sorry, Vessa. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, wait, I know the perfect example, but yeah. Hey, great minds think alike, at least, right? Great minds think alike. But yeah, that's basically it. Is you're basically putting a certificate on it and then saying that no one else can use it. And it's not that it's not like, oh my gosh, you can't sell anything with that color in it. It's that you can't claim it as your own. It's that you can't like say, oh no, this is actually I don't know. This is actually Joanne blue. And it's like, no, that's Tiffany blue. No, it's Joanne blue. You can't do that. I thought we were stupid. I don't know. I think we're a little bit of everything. What colors are out there that don't have a name then? Hundreds of millions. Take your pick. Now, do you have enough money for a trademark on any of them? That's the real question. How much of a change does there have to be to name it a different color? You'd probably have to consult Pantone with that. I don't know how Pantone splits their color, but basically when there's an official color, quote-unquote, it's done through an organization called Pantone. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. I see that you've been fairly new to IRIAM, so hello. I hope you're enjoying IRIAM so far. My name is Starlight, I'm a prismatic kitsune. We're currently talking about colors. Are there different types of black out there? Hundreds. Hundreds of different types of black. You ever been to an interior design store? There's so many different types of black. If you want a true black, there are people that have tried to invent it, a black where nothing else can be seen because black is the absence of light. But it is very, very difficult. I will invent starlight blue. It will be a shade of green. Why? Why would you do that? There's probably some sort of criteria it has to hit. 'Cause funny. I bet you starlight blue is already a Pantone color. Let's find out. What the heck? It's a shade of green. Yeah, look it up. Yeah, look it up. I'm serious, look it up. What the heck? I didn't know that when I made the joke. It's actually... It's actually a shade of green. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate everything. Oh my gosh, it's actually a shade of green. If you guys look up Starlight Blue Pantone, it's green. It's just a green. It's just a shade of green. I hate this world where Vessa's jokes become reality. Honestly, though. Honestly. That's it, I had to be someone who did it on purpose? What do you mean? Never underestimate chat, Starlight, or Vessa in this case. I guess not. I'm not really sure how I feel about Vessa altering reality. But that's apparently a thing. I thought that was Dolphin's. I thought that was Dolphin shtick. But no, apparently Vessa has this power too now. Dual Thrones! Help me! Vessa, quick, make all Monopoly money. How can I help? You can prevent Vessa from altering reality. I'm taking on Dolphin's mantle myself. Oh dear. Oh, we are so doomed. We've been talking about color for the last, like, hour, Dual Thrones, and then, people were asking, like, how do you make a color? How do these colors work? How do the blah blah blah, color, 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 color? And then we were talking about Pantones and designated Pantone colors. And then, we were talking about, like, well, what determines a Pantone? Tiffany blue, Barbie pink, that kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't know, there's probably some criteria. And then Vessa goes, I'm gonna create one called Starlight Blue, but I'm gonna make it green. Ha 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 ha. I looked it up. There is a Pantone literally called Starlight Blue, and it's green! It's green! And Vessa was like, that's a funny joke. I'll make a funny joke. That will be silly and funny. And then it's real. And then Vessa just brings it to reality. Behold Vessa's power. Exactly. I'm scared now. Also, hello, Kenneth. Welcome in. Could be an idea for St. Patrick's outfit. It's not that green. Thank goodness. It's not that green. But it's like... It's pretty green. It's pretty green. It's a Starboard Day miracle. That's not... Oh. It's like a spruce. It's like a really light colored spruce. Why is this a thing? It's considered a slate blue with a silver metallic? I don't know if oh wait, no, that's a powder. Wait, what? Why is it so... That's so weird. It's basically... This is on the green spectrum, or it's like an aqua, which is like a blue and a green? Luna, hello, welcome in, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I see that you're new to IRIAM. I hope you're enjoying IRIAM. Hi, my name is Starlight. I'm having a slight freak out. I'm Prismatic Kitsune. We've been talking about color for the past hour. Hope you're doing well. Vesta says I'm going to incorporate that color into my design. Why? Why? Today's Freaky Friday for you, where I ask a bunch of questions about color. Vesta's joke becomes real, literally. Yeah, right? Yeah, actually, though. I don't have this color on me at all. I mean, I guess you could argue that there might be a little bit in my ear, but, like, no, I don't have this color on me at all. Maybe in the Aurora? In a part where it's, like, slightly faded out? So strange. You want to have that color on your design so that I'm always a part of you? Oh my gosh. But I don't... Does that mean that it's the same when I have, like, magenta and green on mine? What about my necklace? Yes, my necklace also has magenta and green. What about it? I've got all the Stargazer's colors on me. Goodness gracious. I can't believe that was a thing. I can't believe that's a real thing. I can't believe that Vesa just, like, built that into reality somehow. I don't really get how this happens. But okay. Oh my gosh, wait, hang on. Do I actually have my, like... Wait, which one is this considered? TPX? TPX. This is probably TPX, right? Okay, hang on a sec. Is this the TPX guide? Formula coded? These are C's. This might not be the same. Wait, is this considered interior? That's TPG. Do I not have TPX? TPG, TPG, TPG. Do I not have- is this new? These are all TPG. Alright. Wait, I have a second one. Is it in the second one? Nope, that's still TPG. What is it? 124609. I'm curious. Guys, this used to be my job. This used to be my job, was handling all the Pantones. I have so many Pantone books and I'm curious if it's in here. These are all C. These are all C, so that's coded. And then this one's TPX, not TPG. Hang on. Maybe it has a TPG version? 124609. I never quite knew how to read Pantones fast enough. You were asking how many colors of black there are? There's like 50 on this page alone. Let's see here. I could do an entire stream just dedicated to Pantone colors. I don't know how, but I could at this point. IRIAM stream, reading off every Pantone. Where are the 12s? Alright, 12, 4, 6, no. Does it go by lightness? How do these work again? Alright, I should look at the numbers and just, like, see if it's even in here. These 12s, alright, 12, 4, 6? Do we go that high in this book? 4, 6, 4609, 2.065. 2065. Is it in here? 065. 65? Oh my gosh, I have it! I have it in here! It's in here! I have it in my books! Oh my gosh, I've got Starlight Blue and the Pantone. Where are the 12s? Medieval Fantasy Starlight trying to find the races to entrust magic rings with. I have it. Starlight Blue. I've got the page. I have it open right now. It doesn't look anything like the other screens. It looks even greener! It's very much an aqua. This is very much a light, muted aqua. I think Prism thinks I've gone nuts. I think Prism thinks I've gone nuts now. I've got it though. I've got the actual color. Right next to, Winter Sky. Right next to Winter Sky. Oh. You know what? I think that Vesa was responsible for this, because you know what the color is right above Starlight Blue? Reflecting Pond. I think Vesa did have something to do with this. It's called Starlight, it's green, it's actually aqua, related to fish, amazing. It's right underneath the reflecting pond color, which is a really, 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 really dark aqua. Not fish, fishy? Okay, fishy. You just want me to say things on stream. The Stargazers have driven around the bend. I mean, even Prism looks confused. Fishy. Are you happy? Fishy. I can't believe I actually have this color in my hand. Dark says I looked it up and I'm getting blue. Are you colorblind? I'm absolutely not colorblind. I literally had a job differentiating these colors, and I'm a literal rainbow. I think I'm the quite opposite of colorblind. It is absolutely a green-shaded aqua. You could call it a blue, but it's like a very, 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 very green blue. And if you have Skylight, then it straight up is green. It's like a mint. Vinefox, oh my gosh. It's like an off blue. It's like a bluish green aqua. It's like a pale aqua. It has a lot of hint of green. It's basically what Vesa said. I'm gonna call it Starlight Blue and it's going to be green. Is there a way to categorize, like, which section it's in? No, these, never mind. there's no, like, oh, is this considered blue, is this considered green? It's just all together. It's just all together now. It's right on the cusp of the blue and the green. I've got tile blue. I've got ceramic. I've got viridian. I've got jasper. Bayberry. Sometimes I like looking at the names of these. They're funny. Alright. You know what? You guys tell me a color, and I'm gonna pull a funny name with that color. Orange. Schrodinger's Breen and Gruel. Alright, what do we have for orange? I went to the orange section. And the color that my eyes hit first is called amber green. I went to the section with the oranges. And it's called amber green. I'm gonna see what that looks like online so that you guys can do the same. Yeah. Yeah, go look up amber green. Go look up amber green for me. I want to know what your reactions are too. Go look up amber green. Oh, goodness. What does that even mean? I don't know. I don't know. I was just like, yeah, orange, that'll be fun. And it just says amber green. They're just making stuff up now. I don't know who works at Pantone, but I want to have a few words with them. And now there's, okay. I was like, okay, the second color must be different, right? The second page must have better names. I found another one that's very similar to amber green, and it's called Bronze Mist. Bronze Mist? Why is your mist bronze colored? Why do you have bronze mist? Is this like if you're a jewelry maker and you have like bronze shavings flying in the air? Why is it called bronze mist? Why is your mist bronze? It doesn't sound healthy. It sounds like you're in a dust bowl. Oblivion Remaster atmosphere. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I think next stream I'm just gonna... I think next stream we're just gonna go through these colors because this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious to me. There's a margarita. That's funny. There's winter pear. Okay, I guess I can see that one. It's like a very pale greenish brown. Capulet olive? Capulet, like the Montagues and the Capulets? How do we get a color for Capulet olive? Unless it's something else I don't know. It's probably a place. It's probably a place in Italy or something. Sponge is brown. I guess more like a sea sponge? It's just brown. The color's just brown. These are crazy. These are so crazy. Jacaranda. There's bijou blue. There's a bijou blue, except it doesn't look like anything like what Bijou wears. It's not her ribbon color at all. It's a very, very dark, desaturated blue. Again, it feels like they did this on purpose. Yeah, who names these? Who's in charge of naming these? Because some of them make sense, right? Like, oh, violet, iris, okay. And then there's striking purple potion. What? I know what I'm doing next stream. I know what's going on the stream schedule for next week. I am so infinitely amused by these. I don't know if you guys are too, but they're highly, highly, highly amusing to me. I'm very amused by them. They are at such a level of ridiculousness that it's just... I don't know how I've been, like, working with these colors for so long and, like, not paying any attention to how insane the names are. And I think that I need to, like... I think I need to, like, have a stream where we just appreciate the insanity of these names, because they are special. And then you guys can, like, look up the names I say, and you guys can let me know if you also think that this is absolutely insane. Striking Purple Potion. Starlight Blue, but it's actually green. Crazy, crazy, crazy things. Star's gonna make an art piece. Sound good. Star's gonna make an art piece. Sounds good. Taste different color, and then all the chaos will flow. What? Wait, what? I can't even understand what you're saying there. Sound good, taste different color? Taste different color? Someone's gonna argue over color. I don't know how Otto did all that. Oh. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I don't get it either. That's insane. Alrighty. I think we are going to wrap it up here. I think we will wrap it up here. This has been wild. Towards the end of stream, for sure, definitely got a little bit weird. Alright. If you've not yet subscribed on YouTube, definitely consider subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch. If you want to get to the my YouTube channel, if you go into my IRIAM profile and then click on YouTube, it should lead you directly there. There's also a link in the About page on YouTube to the Discord. If you would like to join our Safe for Work art-focused Discord, it lets you know whenever I am streaming and going live. And tomorrow, we are going to be playing a little bit more Pokemon Pinball, because you guys seem to really enjoy that. So, we'll have a fun Pokemon Pinball session tomorrow, and sort of wrap up the week that way. Thank you very much, Stargazers, again. I hope you have had a fantastic day so far. I hope you have a very good weekend. Wherever you may be in the world or the worlds beyond, have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, and night. Thank you, and all the best.